Hello there. I'm in a random spot because I'm house sitting for my sister. My husband of 20 years is cheating on me with our son's girlfriend. I don't know who I'm most upset for. PSA, hi, it's Joss from the future. This video, I just want to let you know, might trigger some people. It is more of a sensitive subject based on what is revealed throughout the story. So I just want to put it out there. Once you have the main little twist, you'll understand what the topic would be. So I just want to throw that out there for you. I, 41 female, am a stay-at-home mom. My husband, 48 male, whom we will call Paul, works in finance. We have been married for 20 years. We have 2 kids, whom we will call Eric, our 18-year-old son, currently a senior in high school, and Mary, our 15-year-old daughter. Okay. So how old is your son's girlfriend? They are both the lights of my life. My marriage with my husband has grown somewhat stale over the years for a myriad of reasons, such as his work schedule and how I've aged poorly since we first met. Our son Eric has a girlfriend who is 18, female, okay, whom he has been dating since they were freshmen in high school. We will call her Amy. Eric absolutely adores Amy. She's his first love, and she's someone I've always considered as family. This makes the whole situation emotionally excruciating for me. Last week, I inadvertently saw my husband's phone screen and got a glimpse of a text thread between my husband and Amy, our son's girlfriend, and I read what looked like a message of her telling him that that she misses sucking his, This is a very disturbing story. I froze in place in complete disbelief. I spent most of the day convincing myself that I must have misread what I saw. However, I didn't misread it because over the last several days, I discovered a file on his computer filled with tons of corn. If you know, on this channel, corn actually means pee, adult videos, but I can't say that, so it's corn. He clearly has a corn addiction. He also has saved photos of Amy from her Instagram on his computer. Although they were nothing inappropriate, she is fully clothed, it was still the proof I needed to confirm that I wasn't going crazy. I also looked at his phone during opportune moments and saw more of their interactions. I wish I had never looked. They were filled with mean, horrible things said at my expense, with him constantly comparing me to her. I feel sick in so many different ways right now. He would call me fat and old, among other things, with Amy LOLing. I've always had hunches or paranoid feelings that Paul has been cheating on me, but never in a million years could I fathom something like this. Last month, I found a thong in our bedroom. Oh! I think I just sounded like the bird from Moana. I didn't even mean to. All right, found a thong in our bedroom that I know wasn't mine. I turned a blind eye to it? Okay, ma'am, how are we turning a blind eye to that? Being naive and acting like it was maybe our daughter's, even though that made 0 sense. Not only is he cheating on me, but he's betraying our son. Like, think of us at 18, everybody, okay? I had a high school boyfriend who was my first love, and oh my God. Can you imagine if I found out when I was 18 that he and my mother, I don't even know how you process something like that. I have no idea how to even broach this completely effed up topic with him. I wouldn't wish this predicament on my worst enemy. I can't even believe I married this scumbag in the first place. And then my mind started to race, realizing that I started noticing specifically unusual behavior from him around the same time Amy turned 18. Was he waiting for her to turn 18 before pursuing this affair? There's so many layers to all of this, and I'm completely paralyzed with fear and dread about it all. Eric adores Amy, and the thought of revealing this sickening truth to him terrifies me. The impact on his young heart and mind could be devastating. My heart aches for Eric and Mary, who are completely innocent bystanders. Who the hell is Mary? Oh, your daughter. I'm so sorry. I haven't confronted my husband about this because I'm frankly scared of the domino effect. I don't know who to turn to first about it. I share my story not for sympathy, but in search of understanding and perhaps advice from those who might have had to grapple with deep betrayal. Thank you for listening. We have an update that came 3 days later. My brother connected me to a very tough junkyard dog type lawyer. I saved screenshots of all his conversations with Amy. I was only able to get the last 3 months from iCloud. The conversations were mostly flirty and dirty talk. It was hard to stomach, completely sleazy, and I saw several negative things about me. His call history showed he talks with her for hours pretty consistently. He uses dating apps. I took screenshots of his profiles and all of the active chats he has with his matches. It's very clear he uses a filter to seek out girls who are ages 18 to 22 or so. So legal, but very disturbingly young still. I copied all of his files from the computer. He goes on sex chat rooms and forums, and he spends a ton of money on OF. I rummaged through every possible hiding spot I could think of in this house. He had various toys, blindfolds, cuffs, gels, we'll say, etc. He also had different outfits, which looked kind of like a girl's Catholic school uniform and a French maid type outfit too. I picked up Eric and Mary from school and we all drove to my brother's. They were able to sense something was awry when I picked them up. I delicately told them the entire situation and I broke down crying. Mary had the most anger, even more than Eric. Eric is probably numb. How do you possibly process that? I met with Amy's mother and told her everything. She confiscated Amy's phone and gave me the entire chat log. It only dated back 3 months, like on my husband's cloud, almost as if they both deleted the messages at the same time. She told me Amy sobbed when confronted. Amy basically told her mother that she will never understand and that she and him are in love. I don't want to get into too many details with what else she was saying, but suffice to say, it's very easy to assume that my husband slowly and methodically became a sage-like figure in her life, making her feel like she could rely on him. And he took advantage of the fact that she came from a broken home. Amy is also nonstop insistent that their friendship only became romantic/physical recently. And before that, she said he was more of a friend and mentor. And here I am just picturing that the OP of the story is like, she was like my daughter, because that's her son's girlfriend. And she was like, we love her, we welcomed her in, like she was our daughter-in-law basically, you know, like that same feel. I confronted Paul over Zoom. The look on his face was scary. He became red and looked so sweaty. He had anger and panic in his eyes. His tone of voice was very defensive and frightening. He kept yelling the word context over and over again, and that none of that happened. He was unable to speak without constant stutters and intensity. Nothing really made any sense to me. I refused to tell him where I was, and he said I had no right to take his kids away from him, and then he abruptly left the Zoom. My lawyer is filing for temporary sole custody of Mary and a restraining order. Mary is still the most angry. She's totally furious with her dad and Amy, justifiably so, of course. Mary is recollecting moments in time she watched her dad interact with her friends, and she's kind of in knots about it. Eric is very clearly hurting, but he's so strong and very level-headed. He wants to see a therapist. I vote for that also. The maturity my kids are showing makes me proud. They don't deserve this at all. We made the authorities aware of everything. I plan on being completely unforgiving and ruthless in this divorce. I'm reflecting on how I've been treated and how it's made me a shell of myself and how I've had a very negative opinion of myself because of him over the last 20 years. I don't want to let this scumbag get away with it. I want to reinvent myself and move on stronger than ever. Yeah, because he has like this weird, I don't even know, addiction, or I don't know if fetish is the right word. And he's comparing you, who, you know, you've had children and you're in your 40s, and he's comparing you to an 18-year-old. I don't care what gender you are. Raise your hand if you look the same as you did when you were 18 years old. Absolutely not. And shame on him for that. I can feel myself getting angry. I can feel myself getting angry. I need to chill. I need to calm down. I need to hydrate is what I need to do. Okay, this is a rare sight. I'm aware. Cheers. Let me know what's in your cup. But you should drink some water. We have another update that came 3 days after the last one. We're all safe and still at my brother's house. We're very careful and his house is secured. Paul has tried to call my cell phone several times a day. I am refusing to interact with him, and I will have my lawyer handle all correspondence. He scares me, frankly. My brother has a very secure house with an alarm system and deadbolt locks. We feel safe with him. Both my son and I got checked out and tested. It appears so far that we're both clean based on the immediate rapid tests, but in the coming days, we'll know for certain when the lab results come in. I'm not overly concerned. Eric is scheduled to see a therapist early next week, which is very good and needed. That being said, he's thoughtful and has been talking with me, asking me how I'm doing and everything. He's not interested in corresponding with his dad at all. He calls only my cell phone and he hasn't tried to reach out to either Eric or Amy. I mean, how do you? Hey son, what's up? Oh, not much. You've been screwing my girlfriend. I get the sense that Paul is extremely nervous. He's scared and I think deep down knows that if investigated thoroughly, he would be in big trouble. That's what my gut is telling me. I still think about that Zoom call with him, and the more I think about it, the more it looked like he was a man whose entire world was crashing down on him. The panic in his face was very apparent. I offered Mary for me to make an appointment with a therapist as well, but she doesn't want to see one yet. She said she's open to it eventually, but wants some time to herself. She's been asking her friends about her dad and if they've ever experienced any creepiness from him. Her friends were open and honest with her, and apparently they felt like he stared a lot and sensed his hovering presence whenever they were over. He also asked questions about what kind of friend group or what clique they were at school. He kept asking about if they were popular girls. I'm completely embarrassed that they had this experience at our house. I feel sick. This is not a fun story. Like, it's not funny. Usually we have fun. I'm not having fun. I'm disgusted. As for updates on Amy, which is the main reason why I wanted to write this update, I completely agree that she is also a victim. A lot of people have been emphasizing that, and I agree. I've done everything I could in my own power to indirectly get her opportunities to get help. Like I said, I told her mother, and she's been updating me on everything. Amy, unfortunately, is still living in her deluded reality, and I can only pray that she will eventually come to her senses. She doesn't want to see any doctors or therapists at all and has been constantly trying to reach Paul because, again, she believes that they are in love. From what I've been told, she hasn't been able to get a hold of him, and he's been avoiding communication with her completely. Amy blames me for that and believes I took away his devices and that I am very controlling. Any truth that her mother tries to convey to her is met with conspiracy theories and hostility. Amy looks at me as a villain and still sees Paul through rose-colored glasses. Her mother showed her screenshots of his dating app profiles and matches, and she refuses to believe it, saying that I photoshopped it. According to her mom, Amy keeps saying things like everyone is just mad because she found herself a real man, and that I'm jealous because she takes better care of him than I do. Amy, what about Eric? What is happening? It's in the line with some of the conversations I screenshotted, where a lot of what Paul says is him complaining about things I don't do for him in the bedroom. Right now, she's insistent that she and Paul will be together for the long run. Ugh, he's honestly a slime ball. I can only hope that Amy comes to her senses, but me directly intervening doesn't feel like it would be productive at the moment. Maybe eventually though. Next update came 12 days later. As for the divorce, it is very much underway. I'm not going to get into all the specifics of it all because it's ongoing and I want to make sure everything is going to go smoothly. I got temporary custody of Mary. Paul also has to pay temporary child support. There's a protective order. Paul can't contact us or come near us. Right now, we're just focusing on getting through this legal mess. Again, not getting into specifics because I don't want to mess anything up. But what I'll say is that I'm very confident, divorce aside, that there's overwhelming evidence against Paul that will get him in serious trouble and it will impact him for the rest of his life. I'm sure eventually I can share more about that. I know a lot of people are concerned about his predatory ways, and I just want to convey this. Even though I have to be vague right now, justice will come. I friggin' hope so. Eric has been to therapy twice over the last 2 weeks. I know some people thought I was dismissive of him and acting like he's doing okay. I very much know he's hurting internally, and we're doing everything we can to make sure he knows he is supported and loved. My brother has been amazing in spending time with Eric and Mary, and both of them have confided in him about a lot. My brother has a very healthy marriage, and both he and his wife have really stepped up to the plate for all of us. Mary has not seen a therapist yet, but she promises that she will be open to seeing one soon. Her friends have played a key role in this whole thing, and that is something that Mary has been grappling with as well. There were a lot of questions about whether Eric and Amy would still see each other at school. I forgot about that. It sounded like they go to the same school, but they do not. Eric and Amy went to the same junior high school and knew each other even then, but Amy ended up going to an all-girls Catholic high school, while Eric, and Mary too, stayed in the public school system. We all lived in the same town, and over the summer heading into freshman year is when they were getting to know each other and when they first started dating. I wish I had a better Amy update, but it's gotten a lot worse since the last update. Paul has actually been seeing Amy, despite her mother trying to force her not to see him. She tells me that Amy says she's 18 and an adult, and she can do what she wants. Her mother is in a precautious spot because if she kicks Amy out of the house for defying her, something that she has threatened to do, which I think is a mistake, she would just run to Paul permanently. The time she spends with Paul has increased over the last week, despite the fact that Paul initially ghosted her when all of this first hit the fan. There were some days where Amy would just be gone for hours on end. I can only pray that Amy can get help and guidance when more of this hits the fan. I'm doing everything I can with my own kids and my own mental health, and Amy's mom knows that she has my support, and that is all I could really provide. I mean, I have seen stories before where 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds even get involved with someone in their 40s because they are legally in certain places considered an adult, and that is their mindset. We do have one final update, and this came 1 year later. So this should finalize everything for us. Mary and Eric were both traumatized, and they still are in therapy a year later about it. The amount of scorched earth Paul caused is mind-boggling to me. I'm still rattled by it, and I don't think I will ever recover, to be honest. Paul and Amy dated for several months after we started the divorce proceedings. I tried my hardest to keep in touch with Amy's mom to see if there was anything we can do for her to realize Paul's predatory behavior and maybe speak out against him, to see if he slept with her or did anything to her when she was not 18, but she refused to talk about anything because she was in love with him still. Just a few weeks before the divorce was supposed to be finalized, Paul disappeared. He drained what was left of our shared accounts, what I had already locked down, and left. We found out later that he bought a one-way ticket to Cambodia. What? I got a notification from a financial tracking alert that my lawyer set up. That was it. We were close to finalizing everything. I had full custody of Mary. He wasn't contesting anything. Then he just stopped replying. Didn't show up to court, never filed anything, nothing. It was like he just dissolved. Amy, according to her mother, was devastated and she's completely gone mentally right now. She's basically nomadic, sleeping at friends' homes around the area, refusing to come home. My lawyer pushed for a default judgment and the court granted it. The divorce is technically finalized now. I have custody. He is in violation of the support order, but none of it matters. He's gone. Cambodia has no extradition treaty. Extradition? No child support enforcement. Nothing. There's no way to make him come back. No way to make him pay anything. We actually have no clue where he is in Cambodia. Eric is in college. He keeps his distance from everything to do with Paul. He doesn't say much, but he's steady. I know it still hurts. He just doesn't show it. Mary is quiet about it too. She still brings up little things sometimes, things that she remembers now in a different light. She asked me the other night if I thought Paul would come back, and I didn't answer. I don't think she really wanted me to. I don't know what Paul is doing in Cambodia. I don't know who he's talking to or what his life looks like now. I've had a few people tell me to report him to the FBI or try to push for an international investigation. I've made the calls, I've filed what I could, but there's only so much they can do when someone hasn't technically committed a crime that's provable in the US. That's all for now. I don't have much else to say. I'm still here, my kids are still here, and we are trying. Are you filing that FBI investigation? Or are we just saying and moving on with life and erasing him like he never existed? Try to censor your comments in the comment section, or this video, you know, a comment or video could get flagged because it is a sensitive subject. So just censor yourself, but I'll see you in the comment section, all right? Stay classy out there. Stay sassy. I'll see you tomorrow.